Hello, I'm Koshka, and welcome to my corner of the world. I'd like to share some opinions with you. If you want to hear my opinions, then please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. And if you don't want to hear my opinions, then just don't watch. So today, my opinion is on parenting and how we have decided that parenting is not as important as everything else. As looking good, as our jobs, as our friends, parenting is relegated down to a joke. Well, in my never to be humble opinion, the most important part of anybody's life, if they have children, is parenting. You are literally responsible for the development, the character development, the development of a human being. And that human being will go out and impact the lives of many other human beings. So you are not just raising your child, but you are raising a citizen. You are raising someone who has the power to make or break other people's lives. So it should be a job that we take pretty darn seriously. So what do I, in my opinion, think is the most important part of parenting? Well, I would say giving them self-confidence. Now, there are lots of elements to parenting that I could expound on, but honestly, for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to deal with self-confidence. Giving your child a sense of self-confidence will, in my opinion, be the best thing in the world to help them get through failure. Because let's face it, life kicks us in the ass, and failure is a huge, huge part of life. But our failures shouldn't define us. If anything, failures should be viewed as a challenge. And that is what, when we give our kids self-confidence, that is what we're doing. We are teaching them how to fail, but get right back up and look at that failure as a learning experience and to keep on going. Self-confidence does other things, which we'll discuss later in the video, but I think that that is probably the most important thing that giving a child self-confidence will do. Now, you may ask yourself, so, Koshka, how do I instill self-confidence? Well, in my opinion, the first thing you should do, the very first thing, is never ask your child to do something you can't. If you are having a really bad day and you can't get motivated and all you want to do is lay on the couch all day and eat popcorn and watch TV, don't expect your kids to be cleaning their rooms. If you are really bad at money and money management, don't expect your kids to be geniuses at it. So often as parents, we expect our children to do stuff we can't do. If you're super disorganized, then don't get mad at your child when he or she is disorganized, because it doesn't work that way. They learn from us. So what you are doing is what they are learning. So I think honestly the first thing is never ever ask your kid to do more than you can do. The second thing is teach them. For goodness sakes, teach them. Don't expect that through some osmosis they learn how to use a knife. If you never teach them how to use a knife, they're going to grab the wrong end. If you never teach them how to budget their money, then when they get their first paycheck, they're not going to have a clue. If you never teach them how to clean the house, you can't complain when their house is messy. You have to teach them. It seems to be that we're so busy with our jobs and with our friends and with our me time, which could be a whole nother video in and of itself, that we forget the most important thing is that we have little people in our lives that want to be taught. They need to be taught things. And the minute you don't teach them, what do you think that does to self-confidence? Live by example. Now, if you want your kids to be nice people, to be honest, to be respectful, to be kind, you have to be those things. If you sit at a table and you run down Great Aunt Millie and talk bad about her, then when your child sits there and complains about Cousin Sid, you can't give him heck. Because just because you like Cousin Sid doesn't mean that he's listened to you talk about Aunt Millie. I think the best example I can give you is when our kids were little, I ordered a set of bunk beds from Sears. Like doll bunk beds. Let's clear that up. A little set of doll bunk beds for our daughters. and they were $19.99. But when my husband picked up the parcel, we opened it up, and it was a $500 Xbox. And my son at the time was so excited. This was years and years ago. Was so excited because we didn't have a gaming system at that point. We weren't even sure we wanted one. And for my husband and I, it was much more important that our son saw us being honest than it was for him to game. So we sent the game system back. And to this day, that's something our kids remember. And for a while, when they were little, they were quite mad. But now both of our older kids say that was a defining moment for them to realize that honesty, how important honesty really was. And we did it by example. The other thing is, we're often told that we have really polite kids, but we try to be really polite. So if you're not really polite, and if you don't speak to authority figures with any kind of respect, and the police are on the road and you call them pigs or whatever else you call the police, or you're rude to anybody who's in a position of authority over you, or you complain about your boss all the time, don't be surprised when you get the phone call from the school saying that you have rude children, or or your child goes to work and doesn't get along with their coworkers because they're rude. Kids learn by example. Now, how does all of this affect their self-esteem? Okay, well, let's just think about this. If you ask your child to do something that you can't do, you are asking them to be better than you. What do you think that says to a kid? I want you to be better than me, so I'm going to make you do stuff I can't do, and then when they fail, they have failed epically, because they have failed the most important person in their life. They have failed you. And what does that do to self-confidence? Right down the drain. The next thing, if you don't teach them, they're going to fail at things. They're going to fail at cleaning their house. They're going to fail at budgeting their money. They're going to fail at organizing their lives. They're going to fail. And if you continually fail, and you fail, but you don't really understand why, because nobody ever taught you this stuff, you should just be good at it. Because obviously, if it was something that needed to be taught, somebody would have taught it to you. So if nobody's explained things to you and you keep failing, it must be a failure in your own self. And that kills self-esteem. When you feel that way about yourself, it kills your self-esteem. And lastly, if you don't teach your kids how to be respectful and kind and good citizens, trust me, the world will. And the way the world teaches them to be kind and respectful is not going to be an easy, gentle teach. And that will kill their self-esteem. And then when you have a child that goes out into this world with no self-esteem, you have a child who is bound to have problems. Because why do they need self-esteem? They will make better choices in partners. If you have a child with high self-esteem, they will make better choices as to who they date, who they have relationships with, and how they get along in life. If you have a child with good self-esteem, they're going to make much better choices when it comes to peer pressure. They're going to be able to stand up and say, no, I will not do that. It is not me. It is not who I am. If you have a child with good self-esteem, they are going to be able to know when they need a break. Their work-life balance will be much better because they'll be able to respectfully say to their boss, I am struggling. I need a break. And they won't take it as a personal failure that they need a break, because their self-confidence will tell them, look, I'm really good. I do my job well. I just need a break right now. They will also be able to look at their boss and say, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. And self-confidence, that's one thing, probably maybe in summary is the best thing that self-confidence will do for anybody, is you can look at somebody and say, I was wrong. I made a mistake. Please help me fix it. I will not do it again. People with low self-esteem or confidence will not admit when they make a mistake. because their mistakes define them, because they're losers if they make a mistake. Whereas a child with good self-esteem, a person with good self-esteem, will have no problem admitting when they make a mistake and will have no problem trying to fix it. So, to sum this video up, please parent consciously. Please, when you have a child, realize that that child has to be your focus. Absolutely, 110% your focus. And giving them self-confidence is probably, undoubtedly, in my opinion, the best thing you can do. And it takes work. Parenting is work. All forms of parenting is work. But giving your child self-confidence is work. Because we live in a world that brings us down all the time. And you have to be the one who brings your child up. And by doing those 3 simple things, by not asking them to do stuff you can't do, by teaching them how to be respectful, and by living by example, you will help build their self-confidence. It will be amazing what can happen from that. Now, I'm going to put a little add-on to this just at the end. If you are watching this and you are over, I think, about 25, in my opinion, please don't go to your parents and blame them for your low self-confidence. Yes, if you're 18 and you're struggling, there may be some avenue there for you to blame your parents, but there does come a certain time in our lives where we have to take control of things. We are smart people. Humans are not dumb. So self-confidence is a gift we can give our children, but there does come a time where we have to start developing it ourselves if our parents didn't do it. So this isn't me giving every 40-year-old out there with low self-confidence the leeway to go to your 80-year-old parents' house and give them hell. This is me telling younger parents the pitfalls that they might fall into, in my opinion. So that sums it up. That is my opinion. This is my corner. And like I said, if you like my opinion, please like, subscribe, and click that notification bell. And if you don't like my opinion, just keep on going. If you have anything you'd like to hear my opinion on, please drop it in the comment section below. Or if you just want to have a chat or a debate, a kind, respectful debate, again, in the comments below. So until next time on Koshka's Corner, I hope you all have a really great day. Bye.